Hey guys, Movie Junkie for Life here, and this is going to be my review of Alien Covenant. Now, Alien Covenant is the sequel to Prometheus, but the prequel to Alien, so it fits right into that timeline. And it tells the story of a crew and a bunch of people, I think about 2,000 people, who are in stasis, who are heading to a new planet to colonize. But on the way there, they see a planet that looks like it might be just as good, and they decide to go and check it out, which turns out to be a really stupid idea. So this one stars Michael Fassbender has returned. We have Billy Crudup, Catherine Watterson, who kind of looks like Ripley and who I did not recognize at all. And I had actually seen Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I did not realize it was the same actress. Danny McBride and a slew of others. So, Alien Covenant. Now, Prometheus is a movie that I enjoyed the more and more I thought about it after I saw it. You know, sometimes you see a movie and you're like, okay, that was okay, and I expected more, whatever. But on repeat viewings, or maybe as you give it a little more thought, you realize the movie had a lot to offer. And I kind of feel that way about Prometheus. While it wasn't an action-heavy movie, I kind of like where it went in terms of the origins of these aliens. So Alien Covenant was kind of Ridley Scott addressing the issues of Prometheus. A lot of people complained that Prometheus didn't have enough action, was too slow. So he brought in, basically he combined Aliens with Prometheus and we get Alien Covenant. So let me tell you guys what I liked. First of all, the visuals. This movie looks really good. It looks amazing. It manages to look new and still fit into that universe. You still believe that that is possible, that the timeline it's supposed to be in, that is the timeline. From the costumes that they're wearing to the look of the ship, nothing looks quite modern, but at the same time, it has that kind of retro vibe, and I really dug that. The lighting, the look of the planet, all that sort of stuff I thought really worked, especially when they got to the engineer's planet. I liked the layout. It was very ancient civilization sort of layout, and I thought it worked really well considering who the engineers were. Acting wise, I want to give props to Danny McBride first. Now, I'm a huge fan of Danny McBride, and most of us know him as a comedic actor. But if you've seen him in other things, you know that he also has drama chops. And like some of you may know, he is writing and helping produce the next Halloween movie. And I think he's going to do a great job because Danny McBride, every scene he was in, he stole that scene. And he wasn't being crazy Danny McBride. He played his character of Tennessee to the hilt. He was believable emotionally. He was believable in his role. He didn't stand out. I didn't feel like I was looking at Danny McBride. I thought he worked really well and I enjoyed him a lot. Michael Fassbender as David / Walter also stole every scene he was in. It's just to see how different he would play these two androids because of how different they are. I thought he was amazing, especially his scenes between David and Walter. I enjoyed those scenes a lot, and he had a way of making you feel very uneasy the entire time you were watching him. You were just waiting for him to snap, and it's almost like swimming in waters with a shark that maybe you think you know what you're doing, but you really don't know what's about to happen. I also like the look of the aliens. Now, I would have preferred practical effects. I'm a huge fan of practical effects, but the CGI worked. For the most part, it worked. There were a couple scenes where it looked really fake and it pulled me out a bit, especially the I don't know what kind of alien that is. Not the xenomorphs that we're accustomed to. There's like a white looking one that came out of the engineers. That one looked a little more CG than I would have liked. The alien baby birth also looked really bad at one point. I'm not gonna say which point. And so it kind of did this. It would have some strong moments, but they should have gone with practical effects, because the way I know they did it to make them move faster and seem more deadly, but at the same time, I don't think that it was a good choice. I think they should have stuck with the practical effects and maybe enhanced it with CGI. Story wise, now this is where I had my most issues with this movie. Alien Covenant starts off pretty decent. It seems like it's trying to balance answering the questions that were asked in Prometheus with the action of aliens. Not alien, aliens. And while it works on some level, it does answer questions, it does give you the action, the gore and the blood and the gruesomeness is there, and it's enjoyable in some cases. This movie never feels quite alive. I don't know if the problem is that I know alive is a weird word to choose, but the energy, I should say, is just not there. At least I didn't feel it. There was no real palpable tension in this movie. I kind of felt where I know where they were going from beat to beat to beat. Now, this is something that happens with prequels because you know what is supposed to come after, so it's really hard to get invested. The problem here is at no time in this movie did I ever felt terrified. There was no real tension. The more I think about it, the more I think that is the main problem I had, because the acting was really good, the visuals were good, I got the horror I wanted, I got the answers I wanted for the most part about Prometheus. My main issue, I think, is that with the exception of the final scene of this movie, the final action sequence I should say, there was no real tension. The only time I felt any sense of fear is when Michael Fassbender's David was on screen. You always felt like he was just about to strike, and he was the only one really bringing that tension. I'm not getting it from the aliens. I'm not feeling that sense of fear that you felt watching Alien and Aliens, that sense of, oh my god, where are they? Where could they be coming from? I kind of always knew when they were coming. I always knew when they were gonna attack. So it kind of took away from the fear level, dropping it a few notches for me. My other issue is the character of Daniels, played by same Catherine, I think it's Waterston. She's fine, but I don't know. I felt like they tried so hard to make her a clone of Ripley that she was never able to actually be her own character. It's the same kind of character, the same vulnerability, the same strengths, but I don't know if it's the look of the character. I don't know what it was. There's just something about her I did not connect with. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just being an idiot. But I personally didn't think she worked well in the role. I think maybe if they went for an actress that didn't look exactly like Ripley, I would have been able to accept her, you know, as this original character. But I just could not stop comparing them. And it's not fair to her, but it's just the way it was. So overall, guys, I think Alien Covenant, it's a good film. It's not a great one. I don't think it's anywhere near as good as Alien and Aliens, but everybody's opinion is different. What the hell do I know? I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10. It's in theaters now, so if you're a huge fan of the Alien series, or you like sci-fi horror, definitely give it a go. Like I said, it does deliver on the blood and the gore. It's not like Prometheus. It definitely went up a notch on that, you know, even though a lot of it unfortunately is CGI, but it works. So I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10. And that's gonna be it for me, guys. So until next time, bye bye.